What's up, guys? This is Tom Burkhardt from Car-Revs Daily in the 2017 Fiat 124 Spider. Doing things that you cannot do in a Miata. No MX-5 has the torque to break them loose on a brake torque launch, especially with the 6-speed automatic transmission that they share. And no MX-5 looks quite as premium and classy as this 2017 124 Spider. So really absolutely adoring this car, and want to go on a drive review video with you guys to show you some of the reasons why. Just a moment. Okay, sorry, I had a camera on the passenger seats. I was setting off the passenger seatbelt alert. So this car is so much fun. So 2017 124 Spider is all new from Fiat. It's a front engine, rear drive, purest sports car that shares much of its platform with the 2016 and 17 Mazda MX-5. But huge differences between those cars, however. Like the exterior style, which is all new for and totally different, not a body panel shared between the Fiat and the Mazda, and as well as a completely different engine, which is of course the heart of the beast. It makes a big difference in how good the car is to drive and just how quick it is overall. So 124 Spider matches the MX-5's on-paper horsepower output at 160 versus the naturally aspirated 4 in the MX-5 and this 1.4-liter turbo 4 in the 124 Spider. But we've got 36 more foot-pounds of torque in the 124 Spider than is available in the MX-5. 148 in the Mazda plays 184 in this Fiat, which is a huge difference. It also peaks significantly lower. It's about 3,000 RPM lower in the rev range, where you get that torque peak in this Fiat that really just rockets the car off the line, as you saw, and really delivers just really satisfying and exciting in-gear acceleration. So these are all really great things and traits of the Fiat 124 Spider that make this just so different from a traditional sort of badge engineering type project, where one company will sort of do the legwork and the other one leverages their distribution network and some of the brand benefits of having a cool sports car. This is not the case for the 124 Spider. I mean, this car is a pretty thorough exercise in being a proper Italian driving sports car in its own right. I'm gonna put it at the top so that it doesn't get so blustery, but keep enjoying this twisty road, which is delightful. And something that I've driven, I drove like an hour to get to this national park this morning, and then got totally lost looking for fun twisty roads. But I've had a blast doing it, you know, driving around on every road I've found, because even the highways here, because this 124 Spider is so good. I mean, the handling is absolutely stellar. Power is really good. Road holding is terrific. Brakes are very firm and confidence inspiring, and the overall rear drive manners of the car are beyond reproach. I mean, this car is so much fun. It's like freaky. But where the 124 Spider delivers a little extra shove and a little extra love pinch for me versus the MX-5 is its power. I mean, with an automatic especially, this 6-speed Eisen unit is shared between Mazda and Fiat. But with a turbocharged 4-cylinder, the automatic just like really comes alive in a way that it doesn't in the MX-5. Whereas like if you're just driving on the MX-5 and you give it quarter throttle, you really are getting pretty like lackluster power. Whereas in the Fiat 124 Spider, the in-gear acceleration is just terrific. It feels about a second maybe and a half quicker than the MX-5 to 60 miles an hour, which is very impressive. I would estimate about 6.8 seconds for this 124 Spider versus about like a 7.9 or 8.1 up to like about an 8.4 for the MX-5 with the automatic. So this turbo really is just leveraging all the good stuff in the MX-5 platform, like its amazing rear drive handling balance, and it's just really affordable yet super rigid, and sporty chassis design, but really just drops in sort of like the engine that MX-5 owners have been craving since the Mazda Speed Miata left the lineup. So that's like really, really an awesome discovery for this 124 Spider. It's just faster. It's faster, it's much more powerful, and as a result, it's a little bit more fun. I mean, or maybe like a lot more fun, I should say, with the automatic in particular. Whereas with the stick, I mean, you definitely feel like revving out the Mazda with the 6-speed manual up to where its torque and horsepower peak, like high in the rev range, is like fun and rewarding and entertaining. But with the MX-5 automatic, I mean, there's a lot of waiting. You're just sort of like, you're waiting for it to like zing out all the way up its red line, and for any power to materialize at all. Whereas in the 124 Spider, you really have just power for days, anywhere you want to be, and that's where I want to be. So let me turn around. I'm gonna go back on this little twisty road. We're down in South Carolina today, and running from a little hurricane that I guess is coming this week for Hurricane Matthew. But we're right by the coast in Francis Marion National Forest, and came out here because I really wanted to be able to flog the 124 Spider and sort of like and really get a sense of its limits and and how good it is outside of city driving, which I knew that it was terrific and outstandingly fun, very, very fast and attention-getting, with its sort of like mini Maserati looks, and this power from the 1.4 liter multi-air turbocharged 4-cylinder. So came out here because a car like this, as fun as it is to drive to work and even just like running random errands, I promise it's that fun. It's really comes alive in any kind of like twisty road or a demanding driving situation. So here we are, twisty 2-lane. We've got the top up and throttle down. So let's do some speedy driving here. The one little disappointing thing is that we don't have shift paddles on this 124 Spider. This is the Lusso trim level in the middle of the range between the Classica and the 124 Abarth at the top of the range. But we don't have shift paddles for this automatic, which is a little bit disappointing. And in addition, we don't have the LED DRL or LED running light accent that is pretty gorgeous in that sort of rounded triangular look around the. We do have lots of power and lots of playfulness for this car, which is delightful. I absolutely love it. We've got a really, really pretty accurate manumatic shifter here through the gear lever itself. It feels so good, and a really distinctive and roary rumble, as you are no doubt hearing from this 1.4 liter turbocharged engine. It's got a really sort of gurgly, sort of like kind of a gritty exhaust note when you first start it up, but then on throttle, it's just delightful. It really is it's got a really zingy and playful turbo whoosh, and a really nice exhaust note as well. That is pretty fun. It's just a really, really nice and balanced powertrain that matches this the balance of the chassis and the overall drive experience so well. This car is amazing, you guys. This is not a clone of the MX-5 at all. I mean, it has totally different styling, looks about a foot wider in back, a lot more premium from the sides where it looks a little bit longer and more distinctive, and then in addition you've got an extra 36 foot-pounds of torque, which is crazy great. That peaks about 3,000 RPM lower. So I mean, these things are all really, really outstanding evolutions on the MX-5 theme, and really show that Fiat is serious about getting their groove back. Got some cars in front of us, so I'm just taking the opportunity to just do a couple more launch starts. The car is really, really awesome off the line. It actually feels pretty potent throughout its rev range, but particularly so off the line. And this automatic has very, very intuitive and sport optimized programming. So even though there isn't like a dedicated sport mode in the automatic, you really don't need it, because it's sort of rev matching on around corners based on the yaw sensors, as well as just generally being pretty in tune with what you are asking of the vehicle. So it's just a divine machine, and one that's gorgeous and very, very economically priced. So the 124 Spider, thanks to getting 70% of its parts content from Japan and only 20% from Italy, primarily this engine and the design input, is extremely affordable. It's priced from about 25, 26 in its base trim level, and then this Lusso, which is in the middle, as we said, has a base price of about 28, on top of which we add like a safety safety pack with blind spot monitors and rear cross traffic alert and a couple other upgrades that take the price. And then we have like this Bianco Gelato, sort of creamy like sort of ice creamy type paint color. Outside was a $600 option, and then a $1,000 delivery charge, and one other option I'm not sure. Okay, oh yeah, so, and then $1,400 for the 6-speed automatic versus the 6-speed manual transmission that comes as standard. But really, I mean, this car is just so awesome. I am loving my day out here, getting lost in the national park, finding some twisty roads, and I really am reluctant to give the car back, because this is one of those cars that even after driving, you know, for what feels like 1,000 years, in many boring cars, and not wanting to go on errands and all that stuff, like I was when I was 16, where I was like, I would love to go drive anywhere for any purpose, because it was just so much fun. The 124 Spider brings back that sort of passion and that playfulness in its drivers, and in that regard, the car is an absolute rock star. What a hit of a vehicle. I'm a huge fan, and I want you guys to go check out the full review over on Car-Revs Daily as well as driving it and buying one. This thing is so cool. So the 124 Spider really feels very distinctive versus its MX-5 chassis mate. It feels distinctive, of course, thanks to this engine. It really looks very distinctive too. People are very convinced that this is a premium import that has a price, you know, rivaling the BMW Z3, where in actuality we're really rivaling like the you know, the MX-5 itself, perhaps like $1,000 more, and in addition to but otherwise becoming like one of the most affordable rear drive sports cars in the US market, and really in the global market. I mean, this is a car that Toyota couldn't really swing with their GT86 for whatever reason, and the Scion BRZ, most likely because their cars are just not selling. But for whatever reason, those manufacturers couldn't make a $25,000 base price for a sports car that is fun and really pure and perfect. But the 124 Spider does all that and more. See you guys next time. This is Tom Burkhardt from CarRevsDaily.com.